But yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Ben and Berg Show, episode 25, 1/4 of 100. Today we're talking about crypto, NFT Fest, the BlockFi has gone bankrupt. Where are we in this bear market and all the crap that's gone on this year in crypto? We're now in the second longest crypto bear market ever. Nearly in the longest bear market ever. I'm going to tell you when that's coming up in this episode. Plus, we deep dive into the VeeFriends NFT, their roadmap, challenges they've had to overcome, the business model. Berg's going to give a deep dive into the VeeFriends NFT model. Plus, I'm going to give you the ultimate God mode on how to read faster and consume content faster in this episode. Plus, as always, middle of the week, meme of the week, accountability, and all the other general nonsense. Bergs, how are you? That was an interesting start to the episode. We got there.
Mate, it was. We were laughing for about 2 minutes. That was great. We're going to have to take some of those outtakes and put them at the end of the episode because they're absolutely cracking. Mate, I'm doing great. I think 25 episodes is to be celebrated, mate. We're a quarter of the way there. We've heard from like the big boys, the big dogs, that 100 is what you want to get to, and things really start to happen around that time. There's a lot of podcasts that die around episode 4, 5, 6, and we're just talking before the show. The hard thing is not necessarily, prepping and doing the podcast. It's showing up every week and being accountable and delivering week on week. That's the challenging part. It's the consistency every single week. So far, we've been damn consistent. And I reckon we're definitely getting to 100, mate. I'm just excited to see what happens.
I don't know about you. I'm more of a guy that tends to find a new shiny object, do it for a couple of weeks, give it up and throw in the towel, do something else. So, like, the fact that we are at episode 25, if I was doing a podcast on my own, guarantee would not have gotten this far. I would have just given up by now or find something else to do. It's very easy to say, I can't be bothered. So we're doing good, man.
I tried this last year where I was going to start a YouTube channel, and things like I did last week with the, I actually recorded a video. I did that video ages ago on calculating your personal net worth. And I had 10 videos all mapped out. And because it was me and I was accountable to myself, I just never did them. But because I'm accountable to you, we have touch points during the week. We've got a Notion page that we fill, and we've got goals to achieve as well. I'm more inclined to do this. And it's like going to the gym, man. Like, I'm so rubbish at, like, when I used to go to a physical gym, so rubbish at doing that. But once you're there, you've been there for 5 minutes, it feels fantastic. Even before this episode, I'm like, I'm feeling a bit crook. I've got a bit of a cough. And then you're like, if you're not feeling great, we can do it another time. I'm like, nah, let's do it. And we're like, straight away, we just start laughing, mate. We're just laughing our asses off at the start of this. We're definitely putting that in outtakes, mate. It was too good.
I haven't had that much of Billy laughing a while.
And now I'm having a good time, and I can't wait to get into the stuff.
We cracked episode, mate. Let's kick off with the NFT Fest. So, St Kilda last week, we had NFT Fest run by Greg and the crew, Rochelle, Steve. They did a cracker job, mate. It was sold out, 1,000 people down in St Kilda. What I think they did really well about this event was the curation of speakers and the content. If you look through the topics of the event, it was very Web3. It was very adventurous in the topics. They weren't like, boring topics, put it that way. Like, I spoke on a panel which was VCs and Web3 when funded, like WEN funded, like very crypto. Like, it was nice. And the panel had Simon from Reinventure, who was an early investor into Coinbase, Kyle, who runs Upside DAO, which is an investment platform through a DAO, and then me as a founder. So it was like a really good mix of opinions and sort of viewpoints. And overall, they did really well. I didn't get to go back on the Thursday. They had all the after events, which was really cool. We hosted an after sort of recovery brunch on the Friday with Amazon, which is just really cool to catch up with everyone. Everyone was a little bit seedy. Matt from our team just crushed it. He was hustling the events hard. He was out late networking, on the last night at the club, getting it done, and then back up on the recovery brunch. So, yeah,
what a lad! Absolutely.
And they had a good mix of educational stuff as well. So Nick and Matt did a workshop, and man, the event was really good. The NFT space is certainly a lot more around culture, community, friendships, networking. It's a nice crowd to be around, man.
Mate, a lot of people flew out, and you met a few Ben and Bergs fans, mate.
I did.
How was that? Meeting them in real life. They're not just a little moon.
They're picture, in real life. We have got at least one listener. Crypto J.
Shout out
Crypto Jay. Absolute legend, mate. He's out your way, actually. I'm not sure if you knew that. He's out Perth way. Yeah. He's a top bloke, mate. We had beers both nights. Just hustling, he is. And met a few other listeners. Met a few members as well, which was really cool. Shout out to the Collective Shift members we caught up with. Just had a ripper time, mate. It's nice to see. Funnily enough, a lot of people sort of recognise Collective Shift now, and maybe they've seen some of our content. Maybe see me talk on a stage or online, or see Ben and Bergs or whatever. So it's cool to sort of meet people in real life, and they're completely different to who I think they are on Twitter. Like, you've got some sort of like random NFT, and you see them in real life, and you're like, holy shit, that's not what I pictured. But
it is, isn't it? Like, you're an older bloke and you've got a family, and you've got a job as well, but you're a degenerate on Twitter. It's completely different, isn't it?
Web3 provides a community, or an opportunity for those people that probably and no one in particular, just generally like allows people to come out of their bedroom or whatever they do at their home when they talk about crypto on their own, into a community where you can actually be yourself. Like, they had the club event on the Wednesday night or whenever the last night, and it's just like they hired out the whole nightclub and they had everyone there, and it's just all walks of life, young, old, male, female, coloured hair, no coloured hair, like different communities. It was really cool. Like, it's a very open, sort of like welcoming thing,
Yeah. It's a very inclusive scene where you've got art people, you've got tech nerds, you've got hardcore finance people. It's all kind of walks of life that are brought together through this technology. It's phenomenal.
Brilliant.
What was the general sentiment like when you were there? First of all, what was the atmosphere like? And then what was sentiment like around crypto and NFTs?
So there wasn't a lot of talk about FTX at all. The NFT guys tended to focus. Wasn't that much talk around price. It really wasn't. It was more around the technology, what we're building, the roadmaps, the DAOs, what they're building, how they're sort of networking, how they're adding value. There's a lot of content and media, like NFT Melbourne, NFT Oz, NFT APAC. Like, there's all these like media groups, NFT for noobs. There was a lot of like guys out there creating a lot of content. So in that retrospect, you didn't really think much. Similar to NFT NYC, when the price was like plummeting, like no one really spoke around price. I think everyone was just there to have a good time. Honestly, I think everyone was just wanting to let their hair down a little bit and talk to other, crypto folk and not feel weird.
That's it for sure. Because I think when you're in the business space, it's about, oh crap, there aren't any customers. What are we doing for revenue? Is our business going to survive? And this was just, no, let's just enjoy the vibes.
And in terms of the vibe outside, like, it was packed, mate. Like, it was chockers. Kevin Rose's talk was chockers. The networking bit, it was in a theater, so they purposely made it so everyone was like forced to connect and talk, and it was buzzing the whole week, buzzing the whole couple of days. Really well done.
You might not know the answer to this, but a couple of weeks earlier, you and I went for a walkthrough, and they showed us the different stages and everything, and they promised, and I'm like, nah, this is not going to work. That's not how technology works. Oh. They promised they were going to do a live band thing, so someone was playing live on stage and someone was playing in the UK, and they reckon there was going to be no lag and everything would play perfectly. Were you around for that, or did it happen?
No idea. Did not see it. Did not hear about it. It's I think it's Ocean's DAO. That's I don't know if they specifically said they could do it. The guy there said they could do it. I've got no idea. We have to ask Matt. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. We'll follow up on that, because that's something I'm like, I need to know. And then how did it work with the 3 different areas, with the multiple stages and then the room? Did it all kind of flow nicely?
It flowed pretty well. There wasn't a heap of people in the sort of workshop room where we were doing our delivery, where Matt and Nick did his delivery. But honestly, they did really well. Like GT from Oshi set up that room, and they looked epic. They had all the screens with NFTs, and GT does a good job. So there was honestly
shout out to GT. What a lad. We went down and saw him. Oshi Gallery out in is that out in Collingwood?
Collingwood
or Richmond?
Yep. Collingwood.
Where is Collingwood? Head out there, have a look. The setup is just next level. He's got these amazing rotating TVs. And the photos that everyone sent out from NFT Fest London, where it was literally the conference screens that you hire, and they have these NFTs that are like a quarter of the size of the screen. No. GT's got custom stuff. It's to the screen size. It looks beautiful, looks amazing. He's got lighting. He's got projectors that go around. It's such an awesome like gallery. It is phenomenal, and he's always up for a chat. He's such a lad. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree. He did a wicked job, and who else did a wicked job? NFT for Noobs as well. The guys out of Queensland, they did an awesome presentation. It was just well curated. Met Rowdy, another guy from Melbourne. He runs a NFT APAC, so awesome dude there. Yeah, Greg has always killed it. Lauren from Amazon. Yeah, man, there was just like so many people we met across the couple of days. So it was, and reconnected with, I must say. So no, it was good, man.
Awesome. Did you get a POAP?
I didn't. They were there, and I feel shit because if you have the POAP for the first, the online event they did last year, plus this event, I think Greg was organising some perks. So, yeah.
Oh. So for those people out there, a POAP is proof of attendance. I think the other P is protocol, proof of attendance protocol. So you attend, like, I've seen these used in Discord lives, or you attend a DAO event, or you attend a physical event, and it's a proof of attendance, like little NFT that you can send people either on the blockchain or through email, through wherever. And that's good because your community owns something, and then you can connect with them later on. So, mate, you got to get one. Don't miss out on those.
You can, and you can add utility and like rewards back to it. It's like a rewards program, right? So that's kind of cool. The biggest announcement, though, I thought that I thought Ridley killed from the AO. So the AO Meta Ball, AO Art Ball, sorry, is the Australian Open official NFT. They announced that if you own one of the NFTs, you actually get a free 7-day ground pass to the Australian Open if you own one of their NFTs, which is really cool.
Mate, what's the mint price on the NFTs?
It was the floor was sitting at around 0.11 ETH, I think. So 300 bucks? No, less than $100 USD.
What?
Maybe $200.
They're already out. The old ones, or they're doing new ones? What's happening here?
The old ones, but if you own an old one, you get one of the new NFTs. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure if you own one of the current AO balls, you get an automatic mint into the new. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, I'm not sure when the upcoming mint is.
So okay, the floor price for the AO art ball is 0.1 ETH, which is 178 Australian dollars.
Yeah, so $250.
No, Australian dollars, 178 Australian. Yeah, so
comes from the floor.
This is incredible. If they've got that attached to it, if you can attend based on the old ones, that's insane. Mate, you got to look into that.
Yeah.
It's much cheaper than trying to like scalp tickets and get in, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah. No, we need to double check if you get an automatic one, but yeah, it's really cool. It's the first real world utility sort of aspect that I love about what the NFTs can actually do. And this just goes to show the real, like non-crypto people, like the power and value you can deliver through NFTs. And I think it's a great example of that.
And ticketing makes so much sense, especially for events, concerts. Like, you want a memento of actually attending. It's like digital ticket stubs that actually look cool and are a piece of art that you can display and that you can trade, and they have future perks attached to them. Like, if you've attended for the last 3 years, you get upgraded automatically. Yeah. Like, how else would you prove that? It's very difficult to do. Whereas you can just have your wallet, there you go. Or you can try and collect those ticket stubs or go through your purchase history in Ticketmaster or wherever.
Well, I think the accessibility, that's the cool thing. Like, and what we're building at the moment through Collective Shift, where NFTs soon will be able to have the power where those that we partner with, can get access to the Collective Shift platform where you can learn about crypto and be onboarded and have courses and guides and how-tos, through the access of your NFT by connecting your MetaMask wallet. Like, that's really cool. I'm really excited about that.
That's really powerful. Just being able to access those groups and activate them and offer them something.
Yeah,
amazing.
I agree. Now, in other news, one thing that isn't really cool, Bergs, is BlockFi have announced they will be filing for bankruptcy today, date of recording.
Oof.
Which is sad, right? BlockFi was a yield platform where you could deposit crypto and get yield. They halted withdrawals back in November 11th. They were looking to FTX to basically help bailing them out. So back in June, they signed a deal with FTX to get a $250 million revolving credit facility to help them the way through, and then that obviously has gone belly up, and they've since held withdrawals. I think I saw somewhere that they BlockFi has somewhere, it's not known yet entirely, but somewhere between 1 to 10 billion of customer liabilities. Jeez. 1 to 10 billion in assets and liabilities. So it's unclear how the whole is. So Berg's not only BlockFi, but this year, like if you add everything up, we've had BlockFi, which by the way has more than 100,000 creditors, 100,000 users. Berg's had money on BlockFi that have lost all their money.
This was a big one because it was promoted by some very big people.
Pomp was
as one of the
promoted
safest.
The hell out of it. He was an investor.
And he stopped all his Bitcoin stuff. He stopped everything. I think he knew what was coming. It was promoted by a lot of big people as a safe place to be, and you can trust them. And then if you go through the list, Ben, like just a recap of this year.
Yeah. So
who's gone down that we know of, and it's still not.
So this is a recap. This is all the money that has been wiped out in the crypto market this year. Celsius, 3AC, FTX. Right, they're the three biggest. From a bankruptcy standpoint. So Celsius lost $1.2 billion in the hole in the balance sheet, plus the New York Times is reporting $5 billion lost from customers. 3AC lost 3.5 billion to creditors. FTX owes $3 billion in unsecured loans, of which $3 billion is to their top 50 creditors. BlockFi owes its 50 largest creditors $1.3 billion, and they have 100,000 creditors, so they're somewhere between 1 and 10 billion. There's been $3 billion lost in DeFi, Web3 hacks and exploits. Plus, the entire total crypto market cap has reduced from 3 trillion down to 850 billion. So that's about $2.2 trillion wiped out in the crypto market cap, including 40 to 60 billion of that, which was wiped out by UST and Luna. That is a shitload of money.
And the latest ones haven't really affected price too much. And there's kind of a running joke. It's like, because no one owns their crypto anymore. It's like locked up in these companies.
It's wild, man. Like I was speaking to a guy the other day, like just a mate of mine who's a business owner who had, a bunch of money tied up in BlockFi. And he's like, dude, like, is my money gone? Like, is it coming back? And I'm like, sorry, man. Like, I think it's gone.
Yeah. We had a couple of investors that had big money on FTX. We know a trader that had money on there. And I really feel for traders because they can't really avoid central exchanges. They need the tooling. They need to put their money on there in order to be able to trade. It's a very, very difficult situation for them. Other people that just use exchanges for 10, 15 minutes and self-custody or get a third party to insure it. That costs a lot of money, but you can do it. I really feel for those guys. Like a lot of people got hit in this, and it's kind of the diehard crypto people. I shouldn't say the diehard crypto people. The people who've been in crypto for a while that are active on Twitter. You're seeing a lot of them. The hatred pour out. This space is dead. We're getting more and more to the blood in the streets capitulation event. Yeah,
we're now Bergs into the second longest bear market ever in recording crypto, longer than the 2018 crypto winter. We are around 360 days into consecutive downwards price action. Not consecutive, 360 days since peak all-time high. We're down 70% from the highs.
Yep.
And we're only about a month or two away from the longest bear market ever, which was between 2013 and 2015, which was around 400 days. So by the time we hit the end of January, Bergs, will be the longest crypto bear market ever. And I don't think I don't think the hurt's done, man. I think there's a long way to go. Like I do not foresee anything else pulling us out outside of macro. They start turning the money printers on, or goodness knows what happens. Inflation gets way under control. Energy prices come down, like they pull the Hail Mary. I just see us continuing chopping sideways, which, by the way, I believe is going to provide us with probably one of the greatest buying opportunities we will get again in crypto over the next 12 months. I believe the next 12 to 18 months, we're going to go out and say it right now, will be the greatest time to buy Bitcoin. The reason I say that is because I don't foresee us having like this sharp capitulation drop. We might have a capitulation. But for those people that can afford to take a percentage of their money and put into crypto each week, that is, for most people like me that doesn't have much cash on the sidelines, is the greatest opportunity to buy, because you're going to have a long accumulation period. And that's why I think this time's so exciting.
I agree. And I think, we will potentially go further down, but what is the event that is going to take us out of this? And I don't see that event at all, apart from maybe the halvening, which generally tends to trigger an upward trend. I don't see anything else happening that will bring us out. And even now I'm getting phone calls. They're like, bro, are you all right? I went to EO the other day and they're like, bro, are you okay with FTX? And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's like a centralized thing. It doesn't affect crypto. It changes the kind of narrative for people that haven't been in this space for a long time. But people like you and I know that if you trust people with your money, they will steal it. And you have to learn these lessons the hard way, and it fucking sucks. It sucks to lose.
Yeah, the
money.
perception on the industry is those that you hear news from. You tie, FTX, crypto, the whole industry's over. That's what people think of. So we need to do a lot to sort of turn things around and rebuild the trust and make this space easier for people to join and be safe and know what to do.
And one thing I'm seeing as well is, people have wanted to get into crypto. They want crypto jobs. That's really slowed down. Like, I don't see a lot of people saying, I want to get into crypto now. I want to learn. I want to work in Web3. I just don't hear that.
Well, look at who's hiring. Like, look at, CoinJar just laid off more people. SwiftX is raising a bridging round. Who knows what the other exchanges are doing? Like, it's just layoffs after layoffs, Like, it's tough times out there for everyone.
Yeah, when the customers drive up, if you look at an exchange perspective, they take a clip of every kind of brokerage event that they do. Some of them are market makers as well. And if the customers dry up, where are they going to get that clip from? And then how are they going to pay their people, their overheads, their servers, software? It's really, really challenging. And it's challenging to operate a business, and only the strongest and well-run businesses will survive this bear market.
Totally agree. So where to from here? I'm not sure. There has been some really cool, exciting developments. Like, on the positive side, we're actually seeing all-time high development in terms of dev output on record. So developers continue to build. A report by Outcome, we found that Web3 developers are more active than ever, specifically in Ethereum. I think Ethereum development's up 40%, which is really interesting. We've seen the Cash App on the Cash App, which is big in the US. Users can now both send and receive Bitcoin using the Lightning Network, which is really cool. So the Cash App's like a digital wallet that a lot of people in the US use. Yep. And then we've also got Ethereum turning deflationary and reducing supply. So after the move from proof of work to proof of stake, Ethereum is now turned deflationary, which is really exciting. It's exactly what they wanted to happen. Arweave, which is an investment we've actually made in our long-term growth portfolio of the membership platform, announces they've partnered with Meta, Facebook, and MasterCard is offering crypto trading to some of their clients. So there's still good shit, Bergs. It's hard to find it, but there is still positives.
I agree. And I think the people that were on the fence and weren't really in crypto for the long term, they've all nicked off and they're working in AI now. that's the whole thing, mate. That's where everyone is. That's where
the shiny ball, mate, over there.
And the people for me, honestly, literally nothing has changed. A couple of intermediaries blew up. Great. Crypto's still if you look at the initial Bitcoin white paper, it's to reduce intermediaries and not have them. And if you're using crypto in that way, that's okay, but understand the risks. And for me, it's plodding along, innovation's punching through, and I'm just excited, man. I'm here for the long term.
Another thing, Bitcoin's, let's just say worst case scenario right now, 16,000 US. It got down to 4,000 during the 2018 winter. So yes, this bear market's longer, but price is 3-4x higher,
Think about supply as well, all that Bitcoin that potentially can't be retrieved. So your ownership stake in the 21 million has just gone up as well if you own Bitcoin. It's all this interplay. It's really interesting. I mean, the blockchains are still working, hash rate's still up, miners are still there, people are still staking, everything's still working as it should, and the narratives are just identical. Yeah, there'll be some businesses that were at risk and there will be contagion, they will blow up. But again, it's like a forest fire that comes through, the strong survive, you get regrowth and you thrive.
Yeah, nothing's happened to Bitcoin, nothing's changed with Ethereum. We continue on.
Mate.
As per VeeFriends, mate. My cards arrived.
Oi. So I've had this written up for a while, and I've wanted to do a deep dive on VeeFriends as an exemplar of how well NFTs can go. So Ben and I have actually been on this journey together since we bought the books. So I'll kick off from the start, and this all kicked off about a year and a half ago. So Garyvee, how would you describe Garyvee?
Entrepreneur, digital marketing specialist, sort of public speaker, content machine, like an influencer, business expert, early stage investor. You know, he trades attention. Yeah. He is early to a lot of things. He's good at human psychology, and he knows sort of what people do.
He's a lad. He gets amongst it. He owns a digital agency that he calls basically the Death Star. So that's where he started with, 6 people, something like that, grew it into this, I'm guessing, $1 billion business or close to. And that's what he uses to fund the rest of the activities he wants to carry out. So about a year and a half ago, Garyvee starts talking on podcasts, and he's talking about NFTs. I'm listening. I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. Another lad trying to get in. But his perspective was different. He took 6 months to learn about NFTs. And if you've ever watched him, like, he's happiest when he loves trading stuff like cards, Beanie Babies, all this kind of crap. And he'd go to these little like garage sales with these old ladies selling stuff. He'll go through and he'll be like, oh, I'll buy that. It's like $5. He'll flip it for $60 on eBay. And this guy is like, he's definitely worth over 100 million easy. But that's what he gets his joy out of. He's a collector. It's what he does. And he's also known for being a really good operator. He grinded hard for so many years in his parents' business, then created his own business. He just works and works and works. So he's getting into NFTs. He's talking about them, but he's really looking to the future. And ages ago, he was talking about ticketing events and collectibles and adding value and having meetups and events. He was just way ahead. So what does he do? He goes and he hand draws these shitty little NFTs. Like, okay, this guy cannot draw at all. He's not an artist. 10 out of 10 for giving it a go though, mate. Like, I'm not going to rag on you. But he draws these little like pictures of like little clams and different unicorns. And he gives them these weird names like Calm Clam, Woke Walrus, Daring Dragonfly, Persuasive Pigeon. And I'm looking at these and they're just drawn in pen. I'm thinking, mate, you're going to steal my money. But at the same time, he's actually tying his identity to this, and he's called it VeeFriends. So he does his launch. His launch goes really well. It sells out. I didn't get into VeeFriends because I don't even know if I was that heavily into NFTs at the time, or I didn't understand or didn't see the value in spending that much money. But as it is today, the current floor on a VeeFriends, so the cheapest one you can get is about 10,000 Australian dollars. So leading up to this, you think about his audience. They're people that like entrepreneurship, learning, business, emotional intelligence, collecting. He's just released these NFTs. So he has to go and educate people about what NFTs are. Can you imagine, like, being that early in 2021, he has to say, like, this is Ethereum, this is a wallet, this is how you buy it. And to his credit, they did an amazing job. Like, their 101 is just unmatched on how to do that. And he got a lot of people into crypto. So the launch sold out quickly, and the total volume was like, so far is like 57,000 ETH. So the royalty amount on that is 5,700 ETH, which is about 11 million bucks, just the royalties, right? OpenSea themselves made $2.5 million bucks. So this is incredible. So you got Garyvee. He's made these shitty little pictures. He's put 10,000 of them on the internet. He keeps telling everyone they're the alpha. I'm going to create value for you until the day I die. And why do people buy them? Well, he tied like early utility into them. So there was one like Gift Goat. So if you own one of those, which is one of the rarer ones, every 6 months you get an awesome gift from Garyvee, which is like, his specialty wine, or you get to meet up with him. There's in real life meetups. There's 6 meetups with Garyvee, so you can join a call with him. You can play tennis with him or pickleball. You get access to events. It's just incredible the amount of utility he's tied to these. And he's pushed the boundaries with his NFTs as well. And he's made OpenSea make a lot of changes. One of these utilities was tickets to VeeCon. So if you own a VeeFriend 1, for 3 years, you get a certain amount of utility. I think it's 1.5 years gone already, so you've got another year and a half. Consider that if you're considering buying one. But tickets to VeeCon. So these tickets were going for about 1.5 ETH, which was expensive at the time, wasn't it? It was like over $4,000 ETH at the time. It was really expensive. So if you own this NFT, you automatically get a VeeCon NFT, which you can either attend the event or you can sell on to someone else. So Ben, you went to VeeCon. You got a photo with Garyvee. It's funny because you were 22 or 23 at the time. He's in his like mid to late 40s and you're dressed the same way. It's just hilarious. It's one of the funniest photos.
Mate, he's
absolutely cracked me up. What was VeeCon like, mate? Being there, like going
it was
to
like it was like a festival, like think of like, you know, your local, you know, show, you know, everyone, you know, all the country towns have their own like show. I think like a Launceston show, like, you know, it was like that. It had the Ferris wheel, had like, you know, people selling candy, people eating ice cream, playing games. And then you've just got this huge stage in the middle with like Snoop Dogg and Garyvee talking about NFTs. It was just wild, man. And luckily enough, I got to see Gary take a photo with him. Man, he's like my childhood, you know, business hero. Had all these intentions of, you know, thanking him and, you know, saying stuff to him. Got up to him, completely choked, went red in the face, fucking just like got just tightened up, couldn't say a word, shook his hand, walked off. My only chance to see Gary being completely cocked it, mate.
Unbelievable. And even now, those VeeCon 2022 tickets that don't have utility, they look like really good art. Like it's just written VeeCon, but it has art behind it and some different properties. They're going for 0.17 ETH. So $300, something like that, which is really interesting.
With no utility.
So he's built that into it as well. And I'm very proud to hear that you fangirled there.
Completely fangirled.
Amazing. So after this, he created a Discord where people could come in, they could learn about VeeFriends and what he was doing. They broke the Discord limit. Right? It was 365 members about a month ago. It's probably even more now, just in his Discord. So Garyvee, he likes to push the boundaries. He's a bit of a lad. Doesn't take any shit. He just wants to give it a red hot go. So what does he do? He's made this book. And you can see just behind me, I've got quite a lot of that book, right? And it's called 12 and a half. And it is a cracking book. If you want a leadership book about...
Contact Bergs, he's got about 45 in his behind there.
Yeah, hit me up. I'll send you. So what this guy does, he writes this book. No one's read the book. No one knows what the book is about. And he kind of teases 1 or 2 pages. And he says, I'm going to, for every 12 books that you buy from me, I am going to give you a free NFT. And everyone went, holy shit, because they look at VeeFriends. They're probably about 20, 30 ETH at this point, the floor price. And everyone's like, oh my God, I want those free NFTs. And he plays games with people where he's like, if you buy from a certain provider, like Barnes & Noble, like taps his nose, you know, you get extra perks. Like, and I think these people got an extra chance of a rarer NFT or they got another NFT. So 12 books. People go through and literally they're showing their pissy little New York apartments that are about as big as this little room I'm in. And they've got a pallet of books. They've literally ordered like 1,000 books. So what Garyvee has done, I've got this book. This is what it's on. No one has read it. Buy 12 of these NFTs. Or buy 12 books and you'll get a free NFT. The books are about $20 each. You can buy them from Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Sells over 1 million books. It is the most pre-sold book on the
Breaks
planet.
all records.
Breaks all the records. No one's read it. No one knows anything. They just want these NFTs. Turns out the book is cracking as well. Emotional intelligence and leadership. And what I like about his book, he goes through each of the 12 and a half things. One of them's half because he's still working on it. But then he gives you half a book of examples like someone got a promotion over me, or this employee has said this, or this has happened. And that was just life-changing for me. Giving exact scenarios and how to use them in your life. Highly recommend it. And then he goes on to sell more of these books, right? So now, everyone's bought these books. We don't know where we're getting them. We spent all this money and he's got to work out, right, I have to go and send these people all these tokens. It turns out there's over 100,000 tokens to send out. So it's over 1.2 million books. And I'm thinking, what is this guy going to do? Because the gas price on Ethereum is about $200 to send one token. So you're buying basically $200 worth of books and he's going to have to spend $200 to net this out. He's not going to have the capital. He's not going to get 1-for-1 on his books because that's probably not the deal that he had. How is he going to do this? So he delays a little bit, and then bang, layer 2, bitch. So what does he do? He invests in Immutable X, our good old Aussie mates. And then he says, great, since I've invested in you guys, we're going to do this on layer 2. So what does he have to do here? Great, he solved the gas problem. I don't have to spend heaps of money. It's basically a few cents to send each token. I've got to create the token and I've got to send them. So he has to reteach people. This is your wallet. This is the main chain. Now you need to go over here, click on this, follow this tutorial, and now you're on layer 2. And then you can claim it with this wallet. And it's like, oh my God. But people did it. And he had people like supporting it, and everyone got their tokens. And it was like, holy crap. And the price went through the roof. It was really good. Everyone made money. But he doesn't stop there, Ben. What does he do? He builds in more utility. He builds in a book games exchange. So this guy's a collector. He's got heaps of basketball cards. He's got other NFTs that he's collected. He puts it on an exchange. So he says book games are played forever. And he's got this exchange where you can take however many book games tokens and you can burn them, and he'll send you the physical thing, or you'll get an NFT. So what is he doing? He's decreasing the supply. He's increasing utility. He's setting a price, because a Michael Jordan rookie card is a certain amount of NFTs. It is just incredible. The amount of utility this guy has built into this. But mate, that's not all. So you got your books, you got some NFTs. I got the books, I got the NFTs. After that, he's like, I'm going to build in some more utility. So he's now released VeeFriends 2. So you got Series 1, you got book games, and you got VeeFriends 2. The total supply of VeeFriends 1 was 10,000. The supply of book games was just over 100,000. And VeeFriends 2 is 55,000 because he likes 55. So for every VeeFriends 1 token you own, you get the VeeFriends 2, the NFT, and you get the VCon tickets, plus whatever else he throws at you. Now, the only way to get on the whitelist for VeeFriends 2 was to own book games tokens. And each day over 30 days, there were different types of tokens. So the very first one was, okay, if you own VeeFriends tokens, you go into the lottery and then, you get in. You own like 2 tokens or something like that. You got it straight away. This guy, Ben, is the luckiest guy on the planet. Like, he's like, oh, Moonbird, yeah, get it. Got in the whitelist. I never get it. This one I was lucky to get in. The majority of people got in that had over 5 tokens, I think. So it's great. He's got his audience. They're ready to buy. But then he's got the rare ones, Ben. So 30 days of rare ones that are new tokens that are worth a lot more than the other ones. You have to hold 10 wood tokens, 5 diamond tokens, 3 of this token. And then in order to get that on that list, you have to have it in your wallet. You will then go on the whitelist, and then you have to burn those book game tokens, and you get the VeeFriends 2 token. How wild is this?
How does this guy execute on all this? He must have just an unbelievable team, really.
Mate, he's got a lot of money goes into it, right? A lot of money and people. He's actually got very high turnover in his team. It's always kind of different people.
Yeah, it's be hard working.
That might be the nature of the industry, and you might hire someone to do a certain job, but then they're better placed elsewhere. So different combinations of lotteries. Along the way, he releases Uno cards as well. And he's released like all different like collaborations with wine, with Macy's, with everything. But wait, Ben, there's more. For every VeeFriends 2 token that you hold, you get this lad. One of these, mate, sent to your house. You got yours, boy. Mate. Hold it up, son. Yeah, boy. So these, for people on the pod, are the VeeFriends collectible trading card game. So this is like luxury as the way he sends it to you and the way it opens. And you have, I can't remember, like 13 packs of like 6 cards in there. He's created his own VeeFriends trading card games. And there's common ones, there's rare ones. He's basically created Pokemon and sent it to your house.
What's your best card?
And
what's your best card?
Oh, I had one of the kangaroos, and it was a 1 of 25.
Oh, oof. Oh, you've got one of the one above very rare, whatever that is, like super rare or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh man, I've seen some people with 1 of 1s. Ed got a 1 of 5. I think it was the kangaroo as well.
Ed.
And they're worth like $1,000.
Like Perth Ed. Did you get into VeeFriends?
No. He was already in VeeFriends, mate. Yeah.
So good.
Oh, no. Not
Not that Ed, different Ed.
No, Eric, not that Ed, the podcast Ed.
Okay.
Yeah, the domain.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so he was on it, and people opening these cards. So never in my life did I think I would be a card collector. I collected phone cards when I was young, but this, mate, I've got the white gloves on, right? I bought the top loaders the penny sleeves, nice. And I'm like going through them all. And when I get a rare one, I put it in the sleeve, and then I put it in the oh, mate, it was unbelievable. So what has this guy done? He's got a captive audience. We're listening in his Discord. He's sending us free stuff. He's making us collectors. He's building his product and his audience. He's literally created Pokemon, right? And really what he is doing is he's building Disney piece by piece. He's building a brand. He's building collectibles. He's even started music and animations around this emotional intelligence that he wants to teach to everyone and teach to children and let them understand. He's building Disney piece by piece in public, all through these NFTs, which is just mind-blowing to me.
No, he's doing an incredible job. What's the floor, Bergs? What's the current floor of the V1s? Do you have that there?
5.7, so about 10,000 Australian. And even now, man, like he raised in July 22, he raised another $50 million from A16Z. So this guy, he's got a huge war chest. He's getting amongst it. I haven't even looked into the future roadmap and utility of things he's got planned. But this is a key thing when you have a person that is known as an executor and then they tie it to their personal brand, and his brand is worth, I would say he's over $1 billion brand massive. For everything that he does. It is incredible. The partnerships he does, even the speaking gigs, he charges $250,000 to $300,000 for a half-hour speaking gig. Like, that's how popular this guy is. And he's no bullshit. And he's still pumping out content day after day. My feed is just filled with Garyvee content. And he just keeps accelerating and keeps building. It's just so exciting to see. And honestly, I wanted to dive into VeeFriends for a while just to give people an understanding of the utility you can build in, why you would buy into something, the perks you get, the potential future economic benefit from that as well, and how he is creating his customers, building in public, helping them along, where he's spending money. It is just unbelievable, mate. It is incredible. It is just such a sight to behold. Definitely an exemplar in the NFT space for me.
Totally agree. I think you're well covered there, Bergs. I don't think there's anything else to add on my behalf. I was just sort of doing the numbers on whether or not I should buy a V1.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm thinking about buying a V1, particularly Hangout Hawk, which is about 20 grand, something like that. Because you get to meet with Garyvee another like 6 times, something like that. So it has that innate utility built into it. 5.7 ETH as well, if you're going to get 2 more VCon tickets and you start doing the math on that, and if he releases VeeFriends 3 and all the other benefits, I'm thinking, oh, mate.
Well, I think we could see ETH price continue to go down potentially. So, like, we've always got to remember that NFTs are just leveraged longs from an investment perspective on the blockchain that they're on. So, these assets are denominated in Ethereum, and if Ethereum goes down, we obviously going to get cheaper. Well, if the ETH price goes down as well, or stays the same, you're going to get better prices. So, yeah.
That's why I price it in Aussie dollars, because it's stable, right? And at the time, I think he was charging between 0.5 and 1 ETH. Or it might have been over 1 ETH, which is 4K US at the time, which would have been maybe 5,000 Australian at the time. Now it's about 10. So it's only a 2x. Same with Moonbirds. It was like 10 grand Australian to get in. I think now it's sitting at low 20s Australian last time I checked. So it's only a 2x, which is really interesting, and things are getting very appetizing.
Yeah, I want to get another Moonbird as well. Moonbirds just announced they're having the Proof Festival.
You seriously want to get another Moonbird?
I reckon I want to get another one because I think they're going to absolutely explode in a bull market, and I love the community aspect.
Do you want to? Let's go halvesies, mate.
Not a bad shout. Maybe
we'll sign a little contract.
Maybe you can have you can have Discord access because I've already got mine.
Yeah, there you go, mate. We'll work this out. We'll chat off.
We're doing deals on the pod. There we go.
That is because
listeners.
Oh, mate, this is pure life, mate. We could have like you guys can follow us on our crappy NFT deals and what we buy, and then you can follow us up to episode 100 and we'll see how we go. But I think I agree with Moonbirds and Kevin and what he's building and just how strong that community is.
Well, mate, I like it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, what I've gotten through there: investors, friendships, events, information, consultancy. Like, it's just been great, that community. Like,
For someone like me that probably won't travel to the States for a very long time or go to an overseas meetup, what's the utility in it for me? Like, is there stuff in the group or talking in it, or is it not really there yet?
Yeah, I mean, you're one that I mean, you're involved with some DAOs and stuff. Like, you're pretty native to Discord. Like, if you spend time in there, you definitely get value. I don't spend a lot of time in the Discord. I sort of optimize more for the IRL stuff. So, like, if you were wanting to optimize the community, I'd need to check the engagement of the Discord right now. But I mean, I reckon it's still buzzing. So, yeah. I think you'd find value from it.
Because you've had a lot from like going to the dinners is a huge one. Meeting specific people where they're like, oh, you remember Birds Holder? I'll just help you out. And they're helping you out in the very obscure thing that you needed, like cap raising and crypto.
Yeah. No, they've been awesome. And even going to the lunch, like when I go to events, we ping the Discord, and there's usually people that are keen to catch up for drinks or, you know, dinner or whatever. Like it's awesome when you're traveling.
All right, I'm going to look into this. And I have a hard time choosing between a VeeFriend 1 and a Moonbird. I don't know. I'll need to do some more analysis on it. We'll have a chat off air, and then if we come to a conclusion, we'll fill in listeners.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on, mate.
So
yeah, do you want to move on?
You posted something on Twitter, and I was like, oh, here we go. This is a bunch of bullshit. And I wanted to ask you about it on the pod. Now, you post because you're on your social media game, you're posting regularly, you're posting global thought leader, international luminary thoughts. You're just you're just getting amongst it, mate. You're building that brand. I like to see it. And you know how I know it's working? Because when I look at it and I go, oh, this dickhead here, that's how I know it's working. That's how I know you've hit the mark. I did it to my mate JB as well when he used to do it on LinkedIn. And when I'm like, ugh, because I know what he's doing, but that's exactly what you need to do. And that's how I know you're hitting the mark. So you're doing a good job. Now, you said, mate, the best life hack I've come across, bro. You listen to audiobooks while reading the physical book. And my initial reaction was like, this is like the people that say, oh, I read a different book while I listen to a podcast because my brain's that amazing. But then I thought about it and I was like, you said something about activating more of your brain, and I wanted to know more about it, how this works and what it does for you.
So to be clear, I just started this with this book because the author recommended it. And I was like, okay.
Hang on. Is the author like, buy my book and then buy my video book? Because that's a great strategy.
I thought that too. Like, that's a great strategy. You're getting Audible downloads and buying book. Like, well played. But no, like honestly, I struggle to concentrate sometimes and consume that information because it just doesn't sit well. But he's like, hey, like if you struggle with this, I've found that if you listen and download the Audible, because the Audible book is literally just reading word by word what that is, plus read the physical book. No shit. It was like, I felt like God mode. One, because I was like sitting there on 1.5x speed, reading so much faster than I normally would. It's hitting different areas of my brain. So I'm reading it and listening to a guy. It's like having someone read you the book. And like for the first time, like I'm quoting things from the book and really remembering what he was saying. I was talking to you about it today, right? In the pricing stuff. I'm like, I'm genuinely remembering it, and I'm flying through the book. So I've found God mode on reading, mate. I'm all for it. But quick caveat. I'm not going to do this for everything, right? I'm reading my fiction book when I go to bed. Like I'm not doing that. Like I read that to go to sleep. You
got a story around that as well.
God.
Let's finish this off first. So it helps with concentration. Does it help with the length that you read as well? Like if you're reading,
I read for 45 minutes. Like,
mate, you can't do anything for 45 minutes.
Mate, I can't.
And I'm not having a go at you, like genuinely.
No,
you're
like
always
10
on the
minutes, and I'm like, right, our next thing. I read for 40. I couldn't put it down.
And it's on 1.5x speed. Okay, I think
you have to try it.
As much lip as I give you, this sounds like an amazing.
You have to try it.
And so it helps with speed, concentration, comprehension, intensity, and understanding and recall.
100%, all 5, bang, tick off.
All right.
Get it done.
I'm going to try this out. So other people that want some reading tips, the 2 best tips that I've had was when you read, your brain does a weird thing where it converts it to language and it's like you're speaking it without the words. So if you do something and keep your mouth occupied, like chew gum while you're reading, you'll read so much faster. It's instant
Wow.
2x. It's so crazy. And while you're doing that, if your page is that wide and you're going left to right, just narrow your focus so it's like that, because you don't need to go right to the end of the line. You'll still see in your peripheral vision, and then you can go to the next line. And I guess the third thing is put your finger underneath so you know exactly where you are and your brain doesn't have to think as much. Chew gum, don't do the entire line, and put your finger on it, and you'll like 2x your speed straight away.
Okay. What if we add all three?
Now, mate, you told me. Oh, it's probably like, over a 2x for sure. And then, mate, start doing it with the audiobook and everything. But also do what is fun and enjoyable for you. So a lot of my reading, even my podcast, I listen on one speed. Yeah. Like a lot of it I want to take in. I want to be calm. It's more of an activity than finishing the book because I have to. I want to take notes. I want to write down. A lot of the time I'll read books and I'll close them because there's a statement. I'm like, I need to think about that for about half an hour. And I think that's where I get the most value rather than just powering through a book. And also reading a book the second and third time, man, that is the next level because you read it once, you kind of understand it, but then your life has changed, your experience has changed. It takes on different meaning as well.
I like it.
And it's just, it's so good. Read books that you want to read multiple times. Now, your science fiction book, you told me a story today. Man. It was so good. I was like, save it for the pod, save it for the pod. So you've started reading science fiction books.
Okay,
tonight.
So
for
the listeners, I'm on a constant focus of like leveling up my life. So like for me, like optimization for happiness, joy, calm, balance, like, energy, focus. That's what I'm sort of optimizing for. So I've started reading before bed to get a better sleep. But of course, me being an absolute idiot, I started reading business books before bed, and it just made me even sleep even worse because I was like getting all these ideas. And Bergs was like, "Mate, stop being an idiot. Like, you need to read fiction books before bed." Now, I love sci-fi. I'm a big movie fan when it comes to like Harry Potter or any sort of sci-fi like Netflix series, whatever. I love all that sort of stuff. So Bergs, I went to a bookstore the other day. I think I told you. I went to a bookstore. I actually went to a bookstore. I was like, oh my God, like what sort of creatures live in here? Went to the bookstore and
it's like going to BlockFi.
I was like,
what creatures live in here? What do you expect to see? Like weird nerds in the corner. Don't look at me. It's like you're going into like a Dungeons and Dragons tournament or something.
Yeah. So when it went to this,
did you see any characters there, or was it just normal?
No, I just get my head down. No, I'm kidding. I am. No, I'm kidding. No, it was normal people. Went to the sci-fi section, but the worst thing is you can't watch a trailer for a book. So I was like reading the blurb. I was like trying to get testimonials, like Googling. Anyway, found this book, and it's thick, man. It's like 500 pages. Like I've never read more than 20 pages in a book, and I've just bought a fucking 500 page, the Big Daddy. Anyway, brought it home, and I'll take it, sleep before bed, and it's actually good. It's this book's like set in the future. It's like year 2100, 2200, where the world has ended basically, and these guys, I'm only in page 30 or 40, but they're like a spaceship, and they're like living out of there. They haven't seen, this generation of people haven't seen the real world. They're not allowed outside. They go outside and they basically melt, like it's like, apocalyptic world, like it's all fucked. Really fascinating book. I'm actually enjoying it.
What's it called?
Don't know. And fell asleep last night reading the book, and I went out of deep sleep. And my dream, I've never had such an intense dream. I was like in a spaceship, like I was in an astronaut vest, like going outside, like trying to save planet Earth when there's like the apocalyptic world, like just smoke around me. And then I fall over and I can't move, and I'm like literally stuck. And then there's this like alien comes over my back and like comes to my ear and is like looking at me, talking to me. And I feel like the life sucking out of me. And I feel like I'm trying to like move my body. I'm trying to get out, but I'm stuck. And I'm like really like this alien's like sucking the life out of me. Like, like in Harry Potter where the Dementors come and suck the life. That was what was going on. I was like, fuck. But I physically, I was like waking up, and I was still asleep. I couldn't move, and I forced myself to wake up. Like I literally was like, my jaw was clenched, my eyes were squeezed. I was like yelling inside my head, and I wake up. I look around, I'm like, heart's beating, I'm like sweaty, I'm like, holy fuck, like, what just happened?
Mate, you need to unpick that dream, mate. Jeez, it's like something sucking the life out of you, mate. I have a feeling I know what it is. And
fucking,
mate,
I had the pod today. I'm pretty sure it might have been just that.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks. Yeah, I'll definitely shop. We're not making it to 100. It's over. Buy my own mood bird. When was the last time you had a dream? Do you dream often?
Oh, not really. Sometimes I'll have a thought, but nothing like that. That was like super intense. I was like proper asleep, man. I was proper deep sleep.
Just dead to the world, next level.
Just
dream,
next level, like in the dream.
What's wild is like I have some dreams like that, and I'll be like, oh my god, I'll wake up and it's like 4 minutes has gone by on my clock, and I'm like, are you serious? That was like an hour-long dream at least.
Wild, man.
Like I think mentally we go really fast in dream world. Like we can do a lot, and it just seems like hours and hours, and it's like 4 minutes, which is just crazy.
Yeah, and then when you wake up, you can't really.
Incredible.
It's hard to remember sometimes the dream, right? It disappears.
Sometimes I like when I'm having a dream and I can either control it, or I wake up and I can go back into the dream. I used to be able to do it a lot. It doesn't happen all that often nowadays, but that was incredible. But some dreams are just wild, and you're thinking, what the fuck? And you try and unpick it. You're like, is something happening in my life? You know, what's going on? At the end, you're like, it's just a dream. Yeah. Like, you know, you read some stuff, you did some other stuff. What are you going to do? But mate, wild. So science fiction, just read a couple of pages, bang,
literally
you're out.
2 or 3 pages.
Good sleep. Mate, I do the same. Like I really enjoy it because it occupies my entire mind. Like science fiction for me creates an entire world where I have to use all of my brain, and I can't think about work or my back hurting or whatever it is of the day, or this stupid conversation I have with this stupid person that's bothering me. I go to a different world and it occupies my entire mind. Similar thing with VR, where it's like proper mindfulness, and that's the only task I'm doing. And that's enough for my brain to relax, let go of those other things, and bang, straight to sleep.
It's wild, dude. Highly recommend reading before bed. Get that sleep in. Okay, Bergs.
Yeah.
What do you got for me? Are we memeing or we eating? What are we doing? Food or meme?
We're memeing, mate. I got 2 memes this week.
I don't know, spice level?
Oh, they're not too spicy, mate. I thought I'd take it a bit easy, you know?
This week.
Okay, so this one, always have a dig at iPhone owners. So you got Windows and Android at the top, and in the front seat, why can't you just be normal? And you got Apple in the back seat. It says screams and raises prices. It's so good. I love this all the time. This is amazing. It's just like, you know, really like crazy screaming in the back. This is a typical Apple owner. All of you, don't try and tell me you're not, because you are. This is who you are. Just own it. And this is particularly pertinent because we're going through and we're developing a Collective Shift mobile app. And you want to go on Android? Great. Here you go. Here are the rules. Apple. Oh, no, you can't do that. Oh, we want a 30% cut. Oh, you have to make it in this way. Oh, it can work here. Oh, but it won't work over there. How long does it take to get approved? We don't know. Fuck, why would we care about that? Could be 2 weeks. Could be 2 years. And then we could just say no, and we can change it. Mate, all these rules with shitty old technology that Android had 5 years ago. I hate you all. Get a proper phone. All right, next meme.
Why?
This one I love. This is a shout out to Leon, okay? He's a lad. He does content for us. And this is a guy, and it's got a water tank, and water's pouring out, and he just slaps on a big like Band-Aid thing. This is the ad for Flex Tape. And he's management. The tank leaking water is worker exploitation, low wages, harsh working conditions. And he's like, bang, pizza party. He just plugs the gap. And this is for Leon because his day job is he's a nurse. He works very, very hard. Their patient loads are insane. They're working double shifts. And the government's like, here, have this little badge because you did well during token. And he's like, fuck your badge. Give us a proper wage that keeps up with inflation and the working conditions that we have. I'm exhausted every day. It's not safe. This is bullshit. And I just love this meme. So all you managers out there, fuck a pizza party. Now, actually, have the pizza party. Pizza parties are great, but that is not an excuse for exploitation, shitty working conditions. Sit down with your employees, talk to them, explain the situation, see what you can automate, see what you can take away from their roles if you're putting more on them. There's so much you can do here. Don't be a dick and give them a pizza party and expect them to be happy and productive. All right, there you go. Meme of the week. That's my little
rant. Well played. I liked it. I liked it. There's a bit of value in that meme.
Oh, mate, there always is. All right. So launch into your meal of the week, mate. This looks amazing.
Yeah, man.
What is
I
this?
went around at the corner for dinner last night. Little Chinese shop. We had some pork dumplings there on the left-hand side, some steamed dumplings. I think they were lightly fried at the bottom. That were like pristine. And then burgers. Mizi. Is it Mizi Goring? Is that how you pronounce it?
Nazi?
Mizi.
Nasi.
Nazi. I'm thinking Leon Messi. Nazi Goring noodles. These were football noodles. So good, mate.
This looks
really good, man. It had like chicken. It had some little shrimps. It had like carrot noodles. It wasn't too hot. Flavor was brilliant. Had a little Coke, no sugar. With a couple of dumplings, man. I was perfectly satisfied after this. It was like $25 for both of it. It was like and a drink. Well played.
Amazing. And did it have, because it looks like that's wok fried. The noodles look like they got a bit of char on them. Was it nice and smoky?
Yep, smoky, wok fried, had that charky, like smoky flavor. It was brilliant, man. This is probably a 9.4 out of 10. That was really good.
Unbelievable. I don't know what they got the fried egg there. I don't know what they're doing with that token salad, but whatever, you probably need it.
Yeah, no, I didn't eat the salad. That was kind of weird. The rest of it was good.
This is one of my favorite types of food. Just nice, like cooked in 5 minutes hawker food, and then a couple of dishes or dumplings on the side. That's just unbelievable, good, mate. That's a meal. Love it. Well, my meal of the week is in a similar vein, mate. So I went out for dumplings, and that was just amazing. Mate, I just love going out for dim sum. So what we've got here is just a few of the things, just a few. And let's dive into it. I've got some... So this one, I haven't opened it here, but this is sticky rice with pork cooked in what I think is banana leaf. Could be another type of leaf. So you just open this and it's just steamy and the rice is glutinous and it's stuck together and you've got this amazing like pork flavor cooked in stock and it's incredible. It's like having a warm hug. Your stomach just feels so good. This is shumai. So it's just prawns in, I think they're just wonton wrappers, steamed, delicious, a little bit of roe on top. It's go-to. This is prawn and coriander dumplings, which are just incredible. The coriander flavor is insane. I'm a person that likes coriander. A lot of people don't because I think it tastes soapy. But again, Indian bloke grew up on coriander. This was just incredible, man. Just dipping it in the chili oil. Oh, Shanghai pork dumplings. You ever had these?
Maybe. No, I don't think so though.
So these have pork inside, like pork mince and soup. So you bite into it and the soup just goes in your mouth and it's just like, there's a lot of like collagen and it's gelatinous and it's just like, oh my God, while you're eating the pork. And then you've got the kind of texture from the dumpling as well. Phenomenal. And the classic hagal, which is just prawn steamed dumplings. This is always a go-to favorite. And we had like prawn rice rolls and a few other things. Mate, this was at one of my favorite places. So I go to quite a few dim sum places. I rate this higher than any place I've been to. It's always satisfying. I'll give it a 9.9 out of 10. This was Emma's in Vic Park. It was incredible. Always a great experience. Great service. Great food.
We'll have to go there, man.
Emma's Vic Park. Go there. Get amongst it. 9.9 out of 10.
Nice work.
Love it.
Yum. Yeah, we'll definitely go there when I'm over the next, man.
Oh, mate. Got to hit it up. All day, every day.
Now, accountability, Bergs. We've been working on this a little bit. Some longer term goals. So my sort of core objective over the next next quarter is to really try and build my personal brand. That's just around collective shift and being able to add value and help sort of acquire customers and build the trust and authority around the sort of crypto onboarding space. So one thing I'm historically not good at is consistency in content creation. So what my accountability piece is leading up to Christmas. I am taking some time off Christmas, so I'm not too entirely sure how it's going to work, but between now and sort of end of January and beyond, but between now and January, I'm focusing on 5 posts on LinkedIn per week, so 1 per day. We've got a little internal strategy I'm working on there. At least 2 tweets a day, Monday to Friday, so we're looking at around 10 tweets per week. Obviously, Ben and Berg's podcast per week I do 3 podcasts with Decoding Crypto. And I'm looking to do a YouTube video on the Collective Shift YouTube channel per week. So that's what I'm trying to commit to, Bergs. I've selected those 4 platforms because that's where our demographic and audience tends to live. So I'm doubling down, man. I'm trying to keep myself accountable.
This is awesome. And this is building towards a really good habit. And you're going to do this over a quarter, over 3 months?
Yeah, over a quarter. I actually, not really half a quarter because I'm leaving to South America in February. So between now and sort of end of Jan.
Awesome. So I've got two. So one is shorter term weekly things that I want to achieve. And this is because I really thought hard about what I want in my life and the type of person I want to be. And the things that I need to work on and the life that I want is I want to be a lot calmer as a person. I don't want a lot of stuff to affect me. Things are going to happen in my life, but I want to be able to handle them, react in like an appropriate way, just be a lot calmer, think a lot more. That doesn't mean like not be productive. It means not letting so much affect me and take energy away from me. And so there's a couple of things I want to do here. One thing I'm really poor at is doing things for myself. So even waking up in the morning, I'll wake up, I'll make lunch for my daughter, I'll get ready. I'm like, I've got that meeting at 8, or I'll just skip breakfast, I'll do that later, or I'll exercise later, or I'll see my mates later, or I'll cancel that. And what I need to do is just do something for myself, like every week. That's a mindful thing. And it can be going playing pinball, learn how to surf, hang out with my mates and hit the batting cages, something like that, but always commit to that, at least that thing. Otherwise, I'll just put everything else ahead of that. That's one thing I need for balance. So I'm going to do that kind of weekly. I think this week is head out, either by myself with my mates, play pinball for a couple of hours, just get amongst it, have some beers, and just enjoy it. That's one thing I really love to do. That's something I'm going to commit to. And the other thing is looking after my health and my body as well. So I've done that a lot recently. I have been unwell, but I lifted again this week, and now I'm getting back on the horse. And if I really want to upframe this to a 3-month goal, the goal is, this is pretty out there, to dunk a basketball ring.
Oh, I like it.
So, right. So, and the reason I chose this is it fits all of my goals. To do that, I'll need to be lighter. I will need to be fitter. I'll need to have more muscle mass, and I'll have to jump up and dunk a 10-foot ring, which I've just got no hope of doing right now. But I think in 3 months, I can absolutely achieve that. But in order to do it, I have to lift weights. I have to do more cardio. I have to do specific exercises every day in order to activate those particular muscle groups, but also the form that I need to take and how I jump and how I do like certain steps and launch. And the goal is a video of me dunking a basketball ring at 39 years old. Yeah.
I'm all for that, man. Mate. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I love the long-term goals.
I'm excited.
Make it happen.
We will. We'll attach like penalties and stuff to it as well. So we actually like work hard and achieve it. We'll get onto that next week, what they're actually going to be if we don't achieve these. And I think they will be much larger penalties, like maybe bungee jumping, Ben. How do you feel about that? So good. Maybe that's too much of a step for you, because I know that out of all the things you could have chosen, this is probably the most difficult for you to do. But it's also, if you achieve it, the most meaningful skill and habit you could have in your life.
It's going to add a lot of value. So just need to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Brilliant, mate. Bergs. I'm going on a helicopter on Friday. Did I tell you?
Mate. No, you didn't tell me.
We got our...
How come you get to do all the fun stuff?
Because you don't leave your house, mate.
Yeah, I know.
How come you get to do all the fun stuff? Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't want to leave my house. That's probably why. You're on mute, man.
I do want to leave my house. It's just like...
It's just too hard.
Fuck. It's too much work, mate. You know, when the company's on your shoulders, you just feel this responsibility. But no, honestly, this is genuinely where I put myself last at the end of the day, where I'm absolutely knackered and just can't do anything. And like, I need to plan ahead, things and actually execute on them and not move them for other things. Be strong, set a positive boundary and say, no, I can't have this meeting.
You need to put in your calendar. You need to put in your calendar, man. So to be clear,
even if it's in my calendar, I'll still do that. I'll still be like, oh, I'll just push that. I'll do it next week.
Yeah, no, you need.
But next week never comes.
You need to try and block it in, man. Now, to be fair, this is an EO thing. So we've got our EO Christmas lunch up in the vineyards. We're going up the hills, about an hour and a half drive away, and they put out the offer to get a helicopter up there. A couple of months ago. So there's about 11 of us going in this. I don't know. There must be 2 choppers. I don't know. 11 people sounds like a lot of people for a helicopter. But anyway, we're getting a helicopter out there. A few wines, mate. Catching up with all the EO folks, my business friends. A few wines back in the city. One of the EO guys owns a bar and a restaurant, so we're heading down to South Bank for a few more couple of quiet ones Friday evening. It's gonna be fun, man. It's good.
See, you go to the good EO. My EO is you get around, you just meet at someone's office and you talk about how bad your CEOs are. And to be honest, like I actually don't complain about how bad you are. Like it's like literally we had this business problem.
This is what he says, guys. This is what he says on the pod.
Though it's like we no genuinely like, and what I did say was we have a problem in this area. This is what I need to do. My CEO admits he's bad in this area, but he wants to learn in this area, which is amazing. That's all you need to work with. What do you guys recommend? And it was awesome. It was really, really good. Man. No helicopters for us, though, mate. We get free coffee.
You got good food. You got good food, man. We're getting shitty old pastry and pies and shit. You're getting like 5-course meal.
Oh, I looked at that photo the other day and it was cracking. I want to eat.
Right, let's wrap it up. We've been carrying on for a long time. Another cracking episode, up to episode 25. We also have new cover artwork. If you haven't noticed, fam, check out the new cover podcast. Bergs and I both look absolutely deteriorating old crypto business people.
It was after a week of super hard work. This is classic Ben, where he's like, I got these guys for a week. I'm going to book every second of their time and make them work 18 hours a day. They'll be fine. Whole crew ended up getting sick at the end of it, mate.
Everyone got cooked.
We got COVID. We got food poisoning. We got burnt out. We're still recovering 2 weeks later, mate. I hope you take a lesson away from this.
Yes, they need to stay longer and do more work. That's
Oh, fuck. I knew you would do that, where you're just like, less people? All right, triple output, let's go. I'm like, that's not how physics works, Ben. Like, come on.
If you're enjoying the pod, please leave us some feedback. You can tweet us at BenSimpsonAU on Twitter and at BabyBackBerg. We also have a Discord channel as well. You can jump in there. And just generally, if you have anything you'd like us to talk about, not talk about, any feedback, we'd love to hear from you. And I think that's about it for this week, Bergs. Anything else from you?
Yeah. Give us a shout out. Love the fans. Love hearing from you. You guys are amazing. We're going to put the outtakes on right now, which are going to be hilarious because those at the front were just so good. It's going to be about 1.5 minutes. Stick around, watch that, have a good laugh with us. And honestly, thanks for listening to Ben and Bergs. We love you guys.
See you guys. Bye-bye. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What was that?
Welcome back.
Mate, you're just like, like you're either like inhaling life and you're just like, or you're just like trying to get centered and like, let's do this. I'm in Ben and Bergs mode. Yes.
Oh.
It was the biggest breath ever, mate.
I'm going to wind myself up.
It was so unexpected.
Welcome back. Right, say it again. Stop any cat. Right, Giorgio from here. Welcome back to another.
Why do you have to start laughing? I was trying to be so serious.
That's why I started laughing because you look like you're trying to be serious. Okay.
All right.
Oh, this is gonna be fucked. Okay, come on.
Why are you rubbing your ears? You're supposed to make me not laugh. You're like. Oh my god. Then you're like, then you're like,
oh fuck, I'm losing it. Righto, come on.
Right.
Come on, Ben, pull it together. I'm switching tabs so I don't look at you.